The Phoenix Suns have done another Exhibit 10-day signing as they go out and get Moses Wood on an Exhibit 10-day deal. We're going to dive in and look at this as the Valley Suns have been really shaping up this roster, and I'm really happy for what they've been able to do in setting up their inaugural season. So we're going to be diving in, looking at this Moses Wood acquisition and how he will fit in with this Suns team for the future. All of that and more on this episode of Suns Digest. I'm Bruce Velez. And you guys have been absolutely killing it, showing your love and support over here on the channel. CJ and I have been absolutely astounding with your guys' support. And with less than a month away to the season starts, we can't wait for the Suns to gear up. So with Media Day coming up soon, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that like button to stay up to date on everything revolving around this team. But without further ado, we're going to dive into the topic at hand today, which is the Suns signing another training camp deal. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. They have been going bonkers and bananas with these Exhibit 10-day deals over the last couple of days. We just saw one a couple days ago with Jaden Shackelford, where he was picked up from the Oklahoma City Blue, where we broke down on this channel. We also had a video with CJ a couple days ago, where we got in a trade trading for Mamadi Diakite, who came over in Exhibit 10-day. And now we have our next Exhibit 10-day contract. If we want to look at this from Michael A. Scotto, courtesy of Twitter. Phoenix Suns have agreed to an Exhibit 10-day with Moses Wood, league sources told Hoops Hype. Wood played in Summer League for the Atlanta Hawks and averaged 11.9 points and shot 39.6 from three-point range for the Washington Huskies last season. Now, to be honest, I did not know much about Moses Wood. I did not watch the Washington Huskies into detail last season as they did not have, any top tier players or guys that were, screaming out from their program. But Moses Wood, like we mentioned, pretty solid in the summer league and was solid over at Washington as well. If you want to look at his stats, like Michael A. Scotto was saying, averaged around 11.9 points and 4.5 total rebounds and 0.8 assists on 42% shooting from the field and almost 40% shooting from three-point range this season. 87% from the free throw. Pretty solid score at that wing position. Hometown of Las Vegas, and played at 4 schools in the NBA, in college, finishing it off in Washington. Now, Moses Wood, we want to look at his stats compared from Summer League. We can see he did pretty solid as well, averaging around 5.5 points, 25% from the field, 25% shooting from three-point range from his averages, and pretty solid player as well. I think he can kind of come in and be that scoring wing for this team, similar in a role that Grayson Allen has played for this team, and I really like that they're going to have one of these players for their G League. Now, I do not expect Moses Wood to be on this Suns team, even though the Suns do have an open roster spot. I expect him alongside Jaden Shackelford to be waived and to be sent down to this Valley's Suns team for their inaugural season getting ready to go. And that's going to kind of get us into the next part of the video at here today. So let me know what you guys think down below on the signing of Moses Wood. Let me know how you think he is going to impact the team. We're going to kind of get into the part where the Valley Suns are gearing up, ladies and gentlemen, because like I mentioned, their inaugural season is coming down. It is going to be starting soon. And this team had to start off with an expansion draft, being the last G League team to be granted in the NBA. They had an expansion draft in which they were to capitalize on some players. As you guys can see, this was the list of 14 players that the Valley Suns did draft on their draft day night, but I will let you know that not all of these guys on this list are still with the squad. We want to look, obviously, Boo Buie was gifted an Exhibit 10-day contract alongside some other players as well in Jaden Shackelford, who I expect to be on this Valley Suns team. And also, the Valley Suns, like I mentioned, did a trade sending Thea Maladon and Trevion Williams, two names that were listed on this list here, for the rights of Mamadi Diakite of the Westchester Knicks. Now, Mamadi Diakite has been thrown around the NBA this offseason, traded from in that Brooklyn, New York trade involving Mikal Bridges, to then be sent to Memphis in order for Zaire Williams, and then now being obviously sent over to Phoenix for Thea Maladon and Trevion Williams. Diakite has reportedly agreed to an Exhibit 10-day with the Suns that puts him in the spotlight to challenge for a spot for an NBA team, for a roster spot, or be able to go into training camp and be able to get a two-way contract by the year end. or to be able to play G League for this team. Now, with Diake, he has had some run in the NBA, and I would expect himself to either earn a two-way spot with this squad, which either would allow either Jalen Bridges, Colin Gillespie, or Ty Ty Washington to elevate that two-way spot into that final roster spot, or the foreseeable of a trade happening and something going down the lines. Ultimately, I do see Diake on this team, regardless if it's the G League or a two-way spot, staying with this Suns roster as another big man to kind of build and develop, as the Suns kind of lack in that department there, only really having Yusuf Nurkic, Mason Plumlee, now obviously also Iguodala and Bol Bol as some young pieces, but no solidified center for that G League squad. I think Diake is going to be a fantastic center for that team. But like I said, this Valley Suns team is gearing up. They've been making an abundance of moves like we've broken down, going after making trades, bringing in Mami Diake, going after getting Jaden Shackelford, signing Boo Bowie to exhibit 10 days, and trying to bolster this lineup up. And that's something that I'm excited to see, because not only has Matt Ishbia said that he wants this Suns team to be competent, a relative team in the Western Conference, a top tier contender, I ultimately think that he wants the same thing for the G League as well in the Valley Suns. He wants them to be a competent team. And we've seen that this offseason. They have not slowed down from these moves, signing all these Exhibit 10-day contracts to hopefully waive those guys and bring them into the Valley Suns G League to have them as developmental pieces to grow, to develop. We already saw Moses Wood play in Atlanta for their summer league. Boo Buie played for the Suns in their summer league. Unfortunately, Isaiah Wong got signed to a deal with the Utah Jazz. He looked really good for the Phoenix Suns in their summer league. There are a lot of players that I think the Suns could gift Exhibit 10-day contracts to just believe in some of these young guys and just send them to the Valley and ultimately just believe in that youth movement. We have yet to see the Suns go into this direction with the fact that they've never had a G League until this year, and I'm very, very excited to see what this type of direction can bring for Phoenix Suns fans and the culture of the Suns. Who knows? We know that the Suns are going to want to develop some of these young guys like Oso Ighodaro, Ryan Dunn this season, but maybe next year guys like Ty Ty Washington and Jalen Bridges and guys like Mami Diake and Jaden Shackelford can earn their respective spots either for a two-way spot or a legitimate roster spot with this Suns team growing in the future, because they were able to develop in the Valley for the Valley Suns for years to come. The Suns didn't have that in the past, and it definitely hindered how they were able to build rosters, how they were construct rosters, how they wanted to facilitate the direction of the franchise. And I love that they were finally gifted a G League team. The fact that them and the Trailblazers before last season were not gifted G League teams was absolutely atrocious. It clearly hurt the direction of a franchise and how it could develop and how it could process itself. And I think now we're going to see a lot of Suns fans, including myself and the organization, want to believe into some young youth movement, go into that youth movement, and believe into some of these young guys. And I can't wait to see how Suns fans treat this G League team as well. Like I said, this is the first time you guys are gonna be able to watch G League basketball. It's not as exciting as the mainstream basketball, but it's still good to keep your eye on. Still basketball to watch. Still young players to root and develop and work on and to hype up for your Suns franchise. And I can't wait to get into that craziness this season. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section of this signing of Moses Wood. Like I mentioned earlier on, I do not believe he's gonna make this Suns roster. He's an Exhibit 10-day contract he is brought for this Valley Suns team. And I think he could grow into a nice sharp shooting scorer for this wing position that the Suns seemingly have in Grayson Allen with this Valley Suns team. A nice young player, similar in the top organization, to fill it for their bottom organization, kind of grow and develop, and maybe be a future piece for this squad. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm very high on Moses Wood. Let me know what you guys think. Once again, I really do appreciate all your support down below in the comment section. You guys have been absolutely fantastic this entire offseason, showing CJ and I support, so we really do appreciate it. Once again, I'm Bruce Velez. Have a great rest of your day, and go Phoenix Suns!